Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to you, and welcome to another video tutorial. In this video, we shall be taking a technical dissection of the USDJPY, and in fact, this is going to be a follow-up video to my previous analysis on this pair. And talking about follow-ups here, we were able to make some profit last week, though it wasn't really significant as price action was caught within a consolidation phase, which further emphasized the indecision in this market. And before I go ahead here, I would like to share with you key moments that we had during the course of last week's trading session. So at the beginning of the week, I posted this commentary during the early hours of Monday, where we saw how the week started on a bullish note and price action started around the 131.200 level. And then we saw a resistance point at the 132.350. So price dropped a little further, and as soon as price got into the 131.600, we saw some level of buy pressure around that area, which lasted about 4 to 5 hours. And this gave me a clue that we might likely be seeing the beginning of another wave of bullish momentum from that area. So in that regard, we scaled down to our 15 minutes time frame, and this is what we were able to identify where we were using the 131.900 level as an area to for buying opportunities. We took advantage of that opportunity as we saw price action break out of the 131.900 level, and we hope that price action will do a further breakout of the 132.350 level to give us another opportunity to add more position. And that exactly happened here. So we were on the verge of enjoying a bullish momentum for this week. But what happened afterward was quite interesting as we saw after having our second position triggered, price action moved about 30 to 40 pips thereabout before we started seeing some selling pressure around the 132.900, which later led to the breakdown of that bullish trend line that we identified at the beginning of the week. And at this point in time, we were looking forward to see probably price will continue to the downside. And if you look at what happened here, we also identified the a temporary buy zone here as we begin to see some buy pressure around the 132.00 level. Then we look forward to buying opportunity as we had a temporary demand zone as price action came back into the point where we bought earlier. And we saw the situation here, got ready to buy. We bought again, but you can see what happened. Price action got into the 132.200 level and we begin to see some selling pressure. So we anticipated that if this sell pressure will continue, we shall be selling at the breakdown of the 131.600. And this was exactly what happened. We had a sell stop order triggered, sell position there, and then we hope that a further breakdown of the 131.200 level will welcome additional position. That is exactly what happened here. We had another position there, and price action moved considerably well. And not until on the 8th of of February, we saw how price action fell within a consolidation phase right within the 131.600 level and the 130.500, and this lasted throughout the whole of last week's trading session. Though during the later part of last week's trading session, when we were anticipating what major event was that? We were anticipating the consumer sentiment index, yes, and that was on Friday. Let me show you where that was. So on Friday, we had a situation that this was before the consumer sentiment index. I think like an hour or so. Okay, 45 minutes, as you can see in my comment here. So we had this channel. You can see what happened here. Price was caught within that consolidation phase, and we had a key level at the 131.900. So I was looking forward to buy a breakout of that level. We shared this earlier, and following the consumer sentiment index, price action broke out of the 131, triggering our buy position, and this is what we had by the end of last week trading session. Price moved about 30 to 40 pips thereabout in our favor before the week closed. If you really want to have a look into how we took advantage of this opportunity, you want to have a detailed look into this, I will be dropping the link to this commentary in the comment section of this video. And if you are watching on my YouTube channel, you shall be seeing the link to this video right in the comment section. Sorry, right on the top right hand side of my screen. So diving right into the current structure here, I wouldn't be taking too much of your time as this is going to be a follow-up video to my previous analysis, and because of this, I will be jumping right into the current structure. And if you want to see how we got to this point, you might want to look at my previous analysis there. A link is in the comment section below, and on my YouTube channel, you will be seeing a link in the top right hand side of your screen. So going into the current structure here, this is the situation we have here in the last 4 or 5 weeks now. We saw a situation where price has been caught within the channel around the 131.00 level and the 127.00 area. And in addition to the structure is the fact that price has been bearish for the last 4 months. And I have this bearish trend line here after connecting the series of lower highs. And there is this situation here. If we take a look at the structure of this consolidation phase, it looks to me more like a reversal pattern in the form of a double bottom structure. If we take into consideration this impulsive move to the downside, we saw the first touch at the 127.00, price climb up. We saw the second touch, price was unable to break the previous low, hereby giving us a new high, a higher low, and from this point, I was of the opinion that we might be seeing some bullish momentum. So I shared this last week, after which we identified the 131.00 level as the neckline of that reversal pattern, where a breakout retest of the structure will be giving us a signal of buying that USDJPY. And in fact, during the course of last week's trading session, we saw the breakout of the 131.00 level, which was a beautiful signal. Remember, we took advantage of this opportunity. And then afterward, I think on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, price was caught within a consolidation phase. As you can see, price is rejecting the 131.00 level. And if you look at the nature of these wicks, you can see that it has a level of it has a sharp rejection lookalike pattern here, giving us a clue that there is some level of buying pressure at this point. So in order to have a better perspective into what is really going on here, I would like us to scale down to the 4 hours time frame, where I was able to identify a simple setup which we can use to guide our trading activity for this week. But before I go into the 4 hours time frame, I would want us to look at the economic calendar, as we have next week list with a couple of macroeconomic events that everyone will definitely be looking forward to in anticipation of a significant price movement during this week. So right here on the economic calendar, we shall be focusing on events that will be affecting the US dollar and the Japanese yen. And on Monday, we do have the GDP, that's the gross domestic product for the Japanese yen, which will be coming up later in the day on that one. So we shall be looking forward to see how participants in this market will be anticipating this event. Then on Tuesday here, we have the consumer price index, and that is for the US dollar as well. On Wednesday, we also have the retail sales for the dollar. And I think that is all for this week. So we have three major events we are going to be looking forward to. And definitely, participants in this market will be anticipating this event. And we shall be seeing the reflection of this anticipation on the chart as price action. So with this information we have gathered here, let's scale back down into the 4 hours time frame, where I said I was able to identify a setup we can use to guide trading activity for this week. So right here on the 4 hours time frame and zooming right into the current structure, that is, we want to be looking at what happened last week. The week started on a bullish note. As you can see, price action broke out of a major supply zone here, had the 131.00 level, breaking out of that structure, which is a very beautiful sign that a bullish momentum might be a very, very good opportunity to buy. And with the breakout of the supply zone here, price action came back to do a retest of the 131.00 level. And in fact, I'm beginning to see that we have been witnessing some buy pressure around the 130.500 level and the 131.00 area. And if you remember what I said on the daily time frame, after taking into consideration the breakout of the 131.00 level, which was the neckline of the reversal pattern we identified earlier, we said that a retest of that structure will be a beautiful opportunity to buy. And in fact, we have been seeing multiple rejection of that level to further emphasize the strength of the buyers at this point. So throughout the course of last week's trading session, we have a situation where price has been caught within the channel between the 131.650 and the 130.500 level. And you know, from a technical standpoint, whenever we have this kind of setup, we want to be looking forward to a breakout or retest of this level to join the momentum. So we might likely see a breakout of the 131.650 level, which I am leaning towards for this week. Retest of structure, then we will be looking forward to more opportunities to add more position to our existing trade. However, if we do have a breakdown of the 130.500 level, remember that below the 131.00 level has been a strong selling niche in this market since the beginning of this year. So if it so happens that price action breaks down the 130.500 level, which is below the supply zone I just showed you earlier, we might likely be seeing a situation where selling pressure resuming below the structure in our lower time frame will be a good opportunity to sell the USDJPY for this week. So I would like to pause the video at this point as I will definitely be jumping right into the comment section during the early hours of the week after monitoring how participants in this market will be reacting to this current structure here in order to decide what our next line of action will be. I hope this video has been of immense help in making your personal decision on the USDJPY, and if it did, kindly support this project by clicking the like button. You would also want to follow me on my TradingView platform at Darksherry, spelled DARCSHERRY, so that you can be part of my daily commentaries as I drop them in the comment section of all of my videos. Thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you on Monday morning as we get prepared for the new week. Do have a wonderful evening. Bye bye.